Are we live? What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One. Rate, comment, subscribe, share this YouTube channel with your friends, family, and followers. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm because you guys know the YouTube algorithm know of me, but it really doesn't know me. So it really helps if you search for my channel, you watch the videos, you hit the like button, subscribe and enjoy. You will not be disappointed, and do not forget to hit that notification bell. Now, for those who want to do some additional services for your boy, super chats, super stickers, join membership button. Remember, membership has its privileges, okay? So yesterday I've been teasing about doing a Q&A with you guys. You guys have questions for me to answer. Do you need advice with your life, relationship, work related problems, school problems? We're still going to do that. We're still on schedule to do that. But without further ado, breaking news, breaking news. This just came down the news wire. Diddy beats the RICO, escapes most of the serious charges. Now, I have some stuff that I put in my phone. And I'm going to read some things out for you guys. Hold on one second. Let me hit the brightness up on this. Okay. So here we go. Sean Diddy Combs found not guilty on racketeering, conspiracy, ex trafficking, guilty on both counts of transportation to engage in, you know, extracurricular activities. Okay. So the jury in Sean Diddy's Combs ex trafficking racketeering trial reached a verdict on all counts Wednesday. Now remember, yesterday they reached verdicts on 5 of the counts. A lot of people assumed that all of those 5 accounts were going to be guilty verdicts, but it's official. It went down today. The jury found Diddy not guilty on racketeering, conspiracy, ex trafficking. He was found guilty on both counts. Can you grab the camera from Lamar Jackson's edit? Don't get it, but hey, you're free to say whatever you like. All right. So let me get into this real quick before I answer a lot of you guys' questions. Okay. Diddy returned to the courtroom. And he was found guilty on both counts of transportation to engage in extracurricular activities. All right. Diddy returned to the courtroom wearing another uh, sweater while the jury continued to deliberate. He hugged his lawyers, waved at his mother and his supporters who were whispering "Hi Diddy" to him. The rapper also made the heart symbol with his hands. You know, Diddy always, that's a gimmick that Diddy's been utilizing for the past couple of years. Okay, he wanted to change his name to Love. Okay, that was his, symbol for his newfound name. A lot of people just assume that he did that only for this trial. No, he's been doing it. Okay, so Combs then Combs then spoke to the court marshals briefly before standing and facing his family. He said a brief prayer, asked God to watch over his family, bless the jurors, the family, all bowed their heads and said amen. When Diddy finished, the family then clapped. Diddy jury was deadlocked after the rapper's defense played high stakes poker. That's what one expert said. On Tuesday, after nearly 14 hours of deliberations, the jury uh, came to a conclusion of a verdict on 4 of the 5 charges Diddy faced. The jury indicted they could reach a didn't they couldn't reach an unanimous decision on the racketeering charges. One of the serious courts against the disgraced music mogul, the federal RICO violation could result in a 20-year sentence. The transportation engaging in extracurricular activities could carry a sentence up to 10 years. The X trafficking by force, fraud, corrosion. I don't know. Why did I say corrosion? Okay. May carry a 20-year sentence after receiving the four notes from the jury. The court decided then to continue deliberations, the racketeering conspiracy. The judge was brought out and instructed them to reread uh, what the judge wanted them to do. When the jury was brought back into the courtroom, the judge asked them to keep deliberating. Said, this is from yesterday. So, um, juries begin deliberating on Monday. Hold up. In closing, oh, no, we're not going to do that. So, basically, in a nutshell, um, Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of most of the serious counts. Now, before I get into this, I want everyone to remember I said it was going to go down this way because it was hard to convict him on a RICO when a RICO is notoriously used or utilized for like mob bosses, things, drug dealers, things of that nature, terrorists, things of that nature. And normally, when you are put someone on a RICO, it's like a gang activity. Now, the government tried to basically say, well, Sean Diddy Combs was a music mogul, Bad Boy Entertainment. He used Bad Boy Entertainment to give him the flexibility to um, put these acts on certain individuals. Because like the plane they used, the jet they used to transport the drugs came from Bad Boy Entertainment. The incident with him and Cassie on the plane when he got into a fight when he hit Cassidy, that was on Bad Boys Entertainment's watch. So they was trying to connect the dots and say, hey, look, Bad Boy Entertainment is this mafia crime organization. But in reality, if the government would have just played it straight down to the and look, I said this. Look, I don't believe guilt. I mean, Sean Diddy Combs is an innocent man, not by any stretch of the imagination. I do think Sean Diddy Combs is guilty of domestic violence. I do believe Sean Diddy Combs is guilty on drug trafficking. Maybe not on a large scale, the way the government wanted to utilize it, make him this mafia mob boss or this drug kingpin. He was more of an addict. He did allow people to get high in his parties, and he had the drugs for them to get high off of. Now, if you want to connect the dots and say, yeah, as far as drug trafficking goes, maybe on a state level, you could probably connect the dots a lot better. But on a federal large scale level, they was trying to connect the dots like, oh, he's this drug kingpin. You know, his operation was operated by the drugs that he sold. He didn't sell none of these drugs. He let people utilize these drugs in these wild parties. Okay, so there was a crime, but it wasn't to the extent as far as a RICO goes. This wasn't a mafia. This wasn't Sean Diddy Combs is not a mob boss. Sean Diddy Combs is not this drug kingpin or a terrorist group or anything like that. Sean Diddy Combs reaped the benefits from these parties. He did these parties off of his excitement. no one else wasn't benefiting or reaping the rewards from these parties other than, getting their freak on or anything like that, which morally it's a crime. If you want to, a guy sleeping with multiple women, if you want to say morally that's wrong, then I'm not against you with that. Um, but can you say getting freaky is it should be treated the same way as someone selling drugs or someone just you know, you know running a drug empire. I don't see, and that's what I said when I did my first live and I talked about it. It was going to be really hard for them to convince a 12 man jury without a shadow of a doubt he should be charged with a RICO. I think the government, was over committed on that. I didn't understand why the government just, still add the charges of domestic violence. Because you got the video, you got him hitting Cassidy. Even though you use that video to orchestrate the bad press, the bad publicity that Diddy got from it, I don't understand why you couldn't use that very same video and charge him for domestic violence. Because, and I know why, because domestic violence isn't a serious crime like, trying to charge him as a drug kingpin or charging him as a mob boss. You wanted him to serve, decades in prison. You want him to serve the rest of his life in prison. And even though domestic violence wasn't going to give him that, still, I felt like you should have added that with the charges. Okay, that was just my opinion. I rather added the domestic violence charges than, the arson, because even though he did burn kids, I mean, he did threw a Molotov cocktail on the seat of his car, and his car sustained damage. You you then can't say on a federal level that this is arson. And that's what look. At the end of the day, these 12 jurors, they're like regular people like you and I. And they're not going to see what you're trying to prove. They're just going to look at it and go, it's wrong for him to get someone to throw a Molotov cocktail into this young man's car over a jealous rage. But is that really arson? Because when I think of arson, I think of someone burning down a forest or burning down a community or burning down a church. People don't connect the dots with arson by throwing a Molotov cocktail in someone's car, and we later find out that he was jealous and Cassidy seen Kid Cudi, and even Kid Cudi admitted that Cassidy sort of used him because she knew that he was going to be jealous about it. So it's hard to, and that's why they had to throw out the arson. But I said all along to you guys that, and this is going to be the first L the government had on a RICO. And this looks real bad for the prosecution. This looks real, because tax dollars were used on this, and it looks real sad. I still don't get what you meaning by that, but hey, whatever. Hey, it's your comment, but you get my point. It's hard to commit someone saying that the X trafficking. I said from my very first live stream, you can go check it out. When I talked about this, it's going to be hard to prove the X trafficking. It was just going to be difficult to prove, because when you're thinking about X trafficking, you're thinking about this pimp, and like, look. the jury, they're not going to see the vision that you're putting out. All right, they're not going to see what you're trying to put out. That's why you have to sort of hold them by the hand and walk them through what you're trying to do. And I think the prosecution overcomplicated things. I really did. And like the X trafficking, yes, he did fly out some male models to smash Cassidy, but Cassidy was a willing participant in that. You can look at the text. She enjoyed these freak offs where these guys had their way with her. So you can't even say that she was ex assaulted, or you couldn't even go down that road because she was willing to do this. She even admitted it through a text. I love these freak offs. And there's an underlying layer to that. The real reason why Cassidy didn't really say no, because Cassidy was looking at the bigger picture. Cassidy was thinking, if I'm down with all this stuff with Diddy, then he's going to do me right by marrying me or taking care of me, which he pretty much did to a lot of women that he messed around with, even 50 Cent baby mama. So I thought that was going to be hard to prove. The arson was going to be hard to prove. Both of those, I was correct on. Um, Now it's going to be interesting what the judge is going to how much how many years he's going to get. And I don't want to go down that road because I'm not no I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I don't even play one on TV, dog. Some experts say that he can get 20 years. The low end, 10 years. The high end, 20 years. He probably won't get out of prison until he's 70. But if he has to, let's just say hypothetically, he serves 10 years in prison. He has to do all those 10 years. He does the 10 years, he still, one thing he don't have to worry about, his family being out on the street. Because if they would have charged him with a RICO, all that money Puff has generated since the beginning of Bad Boy Entertainment would have went to the government. They would have seized all that. They would have seized all his houses, his cars, his money. And I'm gonna be real with you, and this is no disrespect to Sean Diddy Combs' family. I don't see anyone in that family that can generate half of what Diddy did. So Diddy was the cash cow. So now he gets to keep his money. I think he's a little lighter in the wallet. I don't he's far from being broke, but paying all these legal fees and these lawyers and attorneys and things of that nature, the bill starts to add up. And you know, uh, I don't think Diddy's broke, but he's far from a billionaire. He's far from a billionaire. Um, but there's still generational wealth in that family, where while Diddy is in prison, I say maybe 2, 3 years down the road, who knows, maybe 4 years down the road, maybe when people done forgot about it, or people have moved on, or maybe people there's someone else that people are focusing on as far as going to court. Who knows? Maybe they can rebound this, turn this thing somewhat around. Um, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, but Diddy's got real pull in the hip hop community, particularly in the black community. The black community is not going to turn their backs on Diddy. Um, so let's just get that on out of the way. As far as the hip hop community goes, the hip hop culture goes, I feel like the bigger names like Jay Z, they're going to separate themselves from Diddy. Drake, he's got his own problems. He don't need to add on top of the problem that he has. So he's going to separate himself from Diddy. Rick Ross, and I think everyone has moved on. But there's a lot of entertainers, rappers, athletes who are not critically acclaimed, like those individuals I just mentioned. Like LeBron James, I know for a fact LeBron James is he's already severed his ties with Diddy. All right, but you got to admit, I mean, for those people that I named, there's going to be a lot of people that's on the outside looking in, going like, look, if they can turn their fortunes around, and Diddy's name is good, somewhat good, and linking up with Diddy could be a good thing, then if Diddy can get himself out of this hole, I might partner up now more than ever. I might can get Diddy to partner. I can partner up with Diddy because no matter what y'all say, Diddy is good at promoting. Diddy does more with less. So Diddy knows how to promote. Diddy name is still valid in the social media streets. Uh, and they have enough capital, they have enough money to just stay in the hip hop. I don't. The fashion world has closed their door with Diddy. The alcohol beverage world has closed the doors on Diddy. I don't think Diddy's going to get another liquor company or anything like that. But music wise, social media wise, there's a lot of people that will still f with Diddy. So but that's like we're talking about 3 or 4 years down the road, and Diddy will still be in prison. I don't think Diddy's getting out with time served. I think the judge is look the judge is with this verdict. The government is not happy with this verdict. I don't care what people say. The judge is definitely not happy with this verdict. Y'all can say whatever you want to say, but I do not believe the judge is happy with this verdict, despite what people think, despite what people believe in. Uh, so I think that he's going to charge him when it comes to sentencing. He's either going to get the max or close to the max. That's my humble explanation, my humble opinion about it. I don't think he's going to get anything like time served. He's a free man. He can go. I don't think that he's going to get that. Um, I think anywhere the low end maybe 8 years. The high end, the max is 20 years. But but like I said, when this thing started, they was trying to paint a picture that Diddy. They was trying to paint this picture like Diddy was this mob boss. Diddy was this crime lord. Diddy was this drug kingpin. Diddy was this terrorist. Diddy was this bad, evil individual. When in reality, Diddy is a man that had no morals and values, didn't appreciate women, abused women. I mean, he got into an incident with Cassie, who knows who else, was addicted to drugs, was addicted of being freaky, and that's it. But he wasn't this drug lord. He wasn't this crime lord. He wasn't Scarface. He was far from that. Now, other than serving time, I think legacy wise, this hurts his legacy. This hurts his brand. And I think this is very embarrassing You all your business out on Front Street, which we all heard the rumors that he's a little freaky. He likes his adult um, adult uh, time a little freaky. He likes to do freaky things, but that's not a crime morally. Is it a crime morally? Yeah, if you want to believe that, I would co-sign to that. But is it illegal? No, it's not illegal that you like your extracurricular activity in bed a little freakier than most. Okay, and I think this is a huge stain on Diddy's legacy. I believe that Diddy is embarrassed. I think his family is embarrassed. A lot of people are going to profit off of this. There's going to be documentary. There's already documentaries, um, and this really turned out, despite what people may think, may believe, this actually, uh, Diddy should be celebrating right now. He should be celebrating. He should be pleased with his team. His team got him out of a sticky situation, but really, was it really a sticky situation? Because um, when you think about it, I didn't know I had this here. When you really think about it, like I said earlier, Diddy is not this evil person. Diddy was just a guy that likes his freak. He like to get his freak on, you know, and that's pretty much it. There's no rhyme or reason about it. But yeah, so that's all I got. Um, that's all I got. I don't have anything else to add to it. If you guys want to comment in the comment section and talk further about it, I'm cool with it. But let me real fast, real quick, handle some business. I will be right back. I will be right back. Let me see if y'all can hear me. Testing. Testing one, two. Oh yeah, y'all can hear me. Testing. Testing one, two. Testing. Testing one, two. Testing day and night. I just gotta check up on something. Just give me a second here. I will be right biz right. All right. But yeah, and then we're gonna get into something else. We're gonna move on from the Diddy stuff because I don't think there's really much to talk about when you're talking about Diddy. That's all we can do. But just give me a few seconds. Gotta take care of something. Man, this thing ain't gonna never turn on. Hold on one second. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm about to turn the camera on. Just give me 1 second. Hey, while y'all at it, hit the like button. Share this video with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Man, this. Oh, here we go. All right. All right, I'm about to turn the camera on. All right. We back. We back. Gio. Gio. All right. So Diddy is free, y'all. Ronald from McDonald. He said Diddy is free. He's kind of sort of free. We got to wait and see what the judge is going to do. Um, and like I said this earlier in the presentation, I feel like the you have to look at what the judge is going to charge him. Is is he gonna say time? I don't think the judge is gonna say time served. And like I said, I got a high end, low end. He may do low end, maybe 4 to 5 years. High end, maybe 10 years or 15. That's what I'm looking at. I don't think he's going to go past 20 years, and I don't think he's going to be scot free. But there's a lot of experts saying that. I've heard some people say he might say that he's free. He's free to go. I personally don't believe that, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. But yeah, I done talked about this Diddy thing upside. I'm so glad it's over with. Uh, no probation served. Those charges are light. Like we have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. Like I said, I don't think he's going to get off scot free, but I also don't think he's going to do 20 years. And like I said, I talked about it. We just have to wait and see. But Diddy, he is a free man. Well, kind of, sort of a free man. He gets to keep his estate. He gets to keep his money. Um, but this is a huge L for the prosecution. And to me, they overplayed their hands. They made this way too complicated. And when they was finishing up and they was instructing the jurors, well, if you think he's guilty on this count, which of these scenarios qualify if you say that he's guilty on this count? And they was doing it on every single charge. They didn't simplify it. And I think one of the reasons why they didn't want to simplify it, because I felt like in their hardest hearts, the prosecution, they probably thought if we simplify this, then there's a high possibility that it's not going to go our way. So let's just give them a lot of information. And there was talk throughout the whole proceeding that there was a lot of jurors that was falling asleep. So I think the prosecution, a huge L for the prosecution. Um, and I think they was trying to make this more than what it was and what it is. Like I said, if you want to charge Diddy for domestic violence, then cool. I think everyone would have been cool if y'all would have just charged him domestic violence. That's not a federal crime, but you do have the evidence and you do have a witness that's the victim. I think that's an easy charge to get on Diddy. If you want to charge Diddy with uh, drug trafficking, you got the testimony of the drug mule. If you want to focus on that, fine. But it wasn't like a lot of this big amount of drugs, like millions upon millions of dollars worth of drugs. It was only drugs that Diddy used personally. Now, if people wanted the drugs, he had no problem giving them the drugs that he was using, but he wasn't forcing them to use the drugs. But yeah, that's how it's. I mean, they really screwed this up, and hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. So we're moving on from the Diddy. If you guys got comments and you want to talk about Diddy, just comment in the comment section, and we'll just go from there. But the next thing I want to move on into is the Q&A portion. And I talked about this yesterday, how I want to start doing more and more live streams where you guys have questions for me to answer, like relationship advice, career advice, uh, life advice, or just have questions in general. I want to do more Q&A live streams that way. Now, I did put a disclaimer on it. I'm not going to answer weird questions. I'm not going to ask troll questions. I'm, if you want to still, I felt like if you want to still want to ask me that stuff, then form it into a super chat, form it into a super sticker. If you still are sus questions or anything like that, put that in a super chat, super sticker. Okay? If you still have the urge to answer me that question, and I will answer it to the best of my ability and under the YouTube guidelines. We just can't go outrageous on it. But unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of questions, and that's fine. I do want to do more live streams that way instead of reacting to what I see on social media. I really want to react to the things you guys are talking about. I want your personal interests involved into these live streams instead of reacting to what's going on social media. So I'm just taking this time out to let you guys know I still want to do a live like that. It's just you guys, I need your guys' help. But it's not going to stop. It's not going to end. I'll still do lives. But yeah, that's what I kind of want to do. All right. So yeah, but the Diddy stuff, I talked about it in detail. I kind of want to do a question and answer. I was hoping that it still ain't too late for you guys to ask me questions. Okay. But if you got weird questions, anything weird like that, super chat, super sticker is very appreciative. Okay. So yeah. So while we're waiting on what we're on y'all questions and stuff like that, I want to also take time out to let you guys know that I will do more live streams, and I kind of want to focus away from current events and focus doing live streams about random things you guys are interested in. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that for sure. Okay. But yeah, I'm uh I'm gonna call it a wrap right now. I'm gonna call it a wrap right now. I really do appreciate everyone that came by. I really do appreciate everyone that's hitting the like button, sharing this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. I'm gonna try to go live again Friday. Definitely Friday. If something major happens, I will go live like you know as soon as I end here. But I don't think anything major going to happen. Maybe we get some more news on Diddy. Not sure, but I'm moving away from that. I kind of want to focus more on things that you guys are interested in. I kind of want to do more live streams around that. I kind of want to, answer your questions and things of that nature. There's an app where people can ask you things, and I forgot the name of the app. I'm gonna try to look for it, and I'm gonna try to get questions out there on social media. Maybe you guys would do that. But yeah, 8 people in the building, all 8 of y'all, if y'all hit that like button, that'd be very appreciative. That'd be a very appreciative if you guys can do that. Okay. But nevertheless, get a Diddy. Can't you see? Sometimes your words don't hypnotize me. I like the jazzy ways, and everything that you say is okay. Diddy. Can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your jazzy ways. No, I'm just joking. So yeah. That's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces. I'm out. What's going on? Oh, here we